Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'd first like to apologize for my infrequent and low-quality uploads, and from here on out, I promise you, absolutely nothing, because YouTube ain't sending me no checks. But, I got a little treat for you today. I got a little treat for you today that I've been cooking up, and I call it the True Gambler Team. So I was thinking to myself, my name's Gambler Keegan, but is my team really a gambler's team? Is it really a true gambler's team? Am I a fraud? Have I been a fraud this whole time? No, I can't live with that. I can't live with myself. So I did some research. I said, what do gamblers use on their teams? That's right. They use these. This is what the gamblers in the game use on their teams. And every trainer class in the game has their own little theme, right? And this is the gambler's theme. He has water, grass, fire, and electric. That's his theme. So I thought to myself, could I break the infamous 1500? The coveted 1500 mark, where your rank does not decline, or does it? I don't know if they changed that, but I know that's the mark. Okay, can I hit that mark using this team structure? Sure I can, of course I can. But oh boy, was I about to find out. I learned that building a team that can go blow for blow with the meta teams and the meta players using this team structure was actually insanely difficult. Okay, the reason is because fire and electric have terrible synchronicity together. Fire is already not meta in OU, okay, but pair that with electric, right? You don't need that as your padding for your fire type Pokemon. So I learned it was very, very difficult, and I was trying to do this over the course of a couple months, playing here and there when I had some time to myself. And boy, oh brother, did I find it insanely difficult. I was like, man, this might just be impossible. But I didn't want to give up. So here are some of the teams that I formulated to try to complete this challenge. There's certainly not all the teams. There were plenty of teams that were born and were thrown directly in the trash can because they just got humiliated. And guys, I must have tried nearly everything to try to get this build to work. With the strategy I was playing, I'd be lucky if I broke 1400. And that didn't sit right with me. I couldn't give up like that. And I was like, there's something fundamentally wrong with what I'm doing, with what I'm trying to accomplish here. And I thought really hard. I thought really hard late at night, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, this has to be possible. What I'm doing wrong is I'm playing too much like me, and it just doesn't work when you're constrained to this team build. So all these failure teams have one thing in common. They are all built to be offensive, right? Because that is the way that I am predisposed to play. I mean, I practice what I preach. I am an offensive type player. I always want to try to cut off my opponent. I always want to keep the pressure on. I always want to sequence them to death, right? But when I don't have the team build that can deliver on that promise, it just doesn't work. And I must have tried, 10, 15 different offensively oriented builds trying to complete the challenge with. And nothing worked. I mean, we can just go through some of these examples here, some of these failure teams. Starting from the bottom, we have Hypno, Gyarados, and Charizard. And I opted to go for Hypno because I wanted 2 sleepers, right? I wanted insurance in case Jinx bit the bullet. And Hypno's quite a lot bulkier than Alakazam. So I thought, hey, that's a fringe pick, but it might work. We got Gyarados because Gyarados has attack power. We got Charizard because Charizard has attack power. But the thing with these, it's like they share the same weaknesses, and they're just not strong enough to wall break an OU. I mean, maybe one on its own and then something else, right? But like, even together, they're not strong enough to wall break. So then I thought, okay, maybe I'll try the lead Jolteon. I'll try the Jolteon lead fake to Executor as insurance starter pack. And then I went with Tentacruel Rapidash, kind of a Speed Blitz Rap type team, right? But the problem is there's just not enough paralysis on this team. There's just not enough. Well, I mean, is there? What was the problem with this one? Let's see. Okay, Pin Missile, Psychic Stone. I didn't even have Sleep Powder on this. I think this team was just like straight up paralyze the opponent and start rapping, right? And this was super offensive, Amnesia, Explode Lax, Tentacle, right. Agility, Fire Spin, Stomp, Hyper Beam for the Flinch Cheese and the Rap. So the thing with Fire Spin is it actually sucks. It never hits when you need it to. Like in a pinch, it will miss. I promise you. And when it doesn't matter, it'll hit every turn. It'll hit when it doesn't even matter. Tentacruel. There's no really way to paralyze something with Tentacruel. You're kind of relying on like your prime targets getting paralyzed by everyone else before you like try to finish with like the Rap squad. But it just doesn't work. It's inefficient. Rap is weak too, so like your opponent can just switch around and wear you out. I'm not saying Rap isn't viable. On certain teams, it definitely is viable, but with the constraints I'm working with, Rap wasn't doing it either. So I couldn't take a Rap approach with this challenge. These two, let's see. I decided just to switch it up a little bit more. Still got Thunder Wave, Trick Victory Bell with the Body Slam, Sleep Powder Rap, Offensive Snorlax, Slowbro, because Slowbro's a tank, and I thought, why not? He's pretty inarguable, Slowbro. Oh yeah, this Arcanine. This Arcanine's pretty meta. I think Arcanine is the best fire type in OU. I don't remember if I did a video on it, but this Arcanine can like stall out the big three, basically with Reflect, Fire Blast, and Rest. So it can win. It can just stall out Chansey. It can burn Tauros and Snorlax. It can like throw up a Reflect in an exploding thing's face and just live. Like it's replenishable. This Arcanine's pretty good. And then Zapdos, pretty attack oriented. I'm looking at this. It's a pretty diverse team. You have a lot of different options. You got Amnesia, Explosion. You got Rap. You got Lead Zam, right? You have Arcanine, and then Zapdos is just all around pretty great, right? But it still wasn't cutting it, and I think the reason for this is because like I was hesitant to just sack Arcanine at the beginning because I'd feel like a fraud. Like, okay, well, like, am I really using the build if I'm just sacking Arcanine at the beginning? I don't really think so. I think this may have had a chance, but or maybe I did try that and it still didn't work because I did not end up using this team. Also, it's pretty, like, there's not enough fast things on the team. And then this one was a variant of the Charizard team, the 1500 Charizard team a while back. But the problem is, I'm missing a core team member on this. I think it's Alakazam, right? So I don't have enough paralysis here to really carry me through. And the 1500 Charizard team, it's very hard to use. I found the new build that I created was a lot easier to use than the super offensive Charizard team that I made in the past. But it's still pretty constrained because I don't have Alakazam's speed to help me out, right? So this one's trash too. And the moment you've all been waiting for, this is the true Gambler team. This one took me over 1500, and I think it could take me further. I'm not saying it's meta, but I'm saying it can compete. it can compete. And it was a very strange strategy that I employed when creating this one, completely opposite from all the other ones. So I remembered something, a memory from a while back when I was first getting into competitive Red, Blue, Yellow, when I was first getting into Showdown, before I was a Pokemon Master, before I had a channel, all that stuff. I was just getting into the game, and I was getting bullied. Like, there were maybe 3 players who would just straight bully me, dude. I mean, they were mean, they would trash talk every turn, they would just bully me, telling me, like, I would never be anything, that I suck, and that I could never beat them. And one of those players, he had this meme team. He had this team that was, like, defensively perfect. Like, he had a counter for everything. And he would just constantly switch in and constantly heal. And, like, I couldn't get past him. And that is kind of a low-key lore drop of how I learned to play the way I did, was to beat... I don't want to say that word. To beat players like that. I just wanted to, like, destroy players who played that way, right? And I eventually did. And it wasn't like I didn't figure it out on my own, because back then I actually had a mentor. His name was Sceptross. He's a pretty big player, pretty popular player. He still plays in, like, the competitive scene. But I was just like, dude, like, I can't freaking beat these guys. And he was like, that's okay, just watch me. And he challenged the dude, and he destroyed him. And whoa, suddenly the trash talk stopped. And, like, so he taught me a lot in terms of, like, team balance and whatnot, which I kind of later improved upon. But if Sceptross ever watches this, I never forgot you, bro. And you're my sensei till the end. I never forgot how you pretty much, like, taught me competitive Gen 1 OU. So, hats off to you, buddy. But anyway, I was thinking to myself, well, if offense isn't working, maybe I should try playing defensively. Maybe I should try making a team like that guy had, like, within the parameters that I've set for myself. So I'm like, okay, so what are the most, like, defensive type mons that I can run that still adheres to my rules? And this is kind of what I came up with. So I did end up leading my fire type, because, come on, y'all. Come on, don't give me that extra rule where I have to, like, not sleep sack the fire type. And to be fair, if Arcanine doesn't get sleep sacked, he can actually do work. But for the most part, I lead with Arcanine. He's super bulky. I generally like to fake the Fire Blast and just body slam the Starmie. But overall, he has a good chance to get some blows in before he goes to sleep. And I usually mostly want Arcanine to go to sleep. He's very bulky too, so if it's like a Chansey endgame, there's a chance he can wake up and just stall Chansey to death. I don't know if I have any replays where that happened, but I do remember it happening. Or, you know, if he wakes up on, like, a paralyzed Snorlax or a paralyzed Tauros, you can throw up the Reflect and just become, like, impossible to kill without a crit. So he's my bulky fire pick. Executor, obvious bulky grass pick. And the theme I went with on this team is I was throwing offense to the wayside. So I was like, I can't put Explosion on Executor or Cloyster, because I will be too tempted to use Explosion. And if I, like, whiff it, if I don't kill the target, if I miss the target, if they switch in a sleeper, like, if they switch me up on my Explosion, I'm done for. Like, I don't have this meta team that can deliver. Like, I need people to stay alive as long as they can. So for both Cloyster and Executor, I took off the Explosion and I put on Rest. And Rest Executor, quite fun. Quite fun if used in the right hands. I know you guys have likely seen a Rest Executor at some point, and it really made you mad because you thought that Explosion was coming. Nah, Executor is fully healthy again, right? Same story with Cloyster. You know, opponents think the Explosion's coming, and it's just not. Like, I'm just not willing to waste my dudes like that. So, I mean, everyone knows that Cloyster likes to rest, right? But if they get in a situation where they think Cloyster's going to explode because he can't get away with staying alive, they'll usually switch in something to eat the explosion, but it's like, I've already resigned myself, so I'm going to hit you with a blizzard now, just for the lulz. And, you know, the trick mons, they do work. They do work. So I subbed Hyper Beam for explosion just to catch the occasional Starmie or Chansey off guard with that one. Alright. Talk about Chansey later. Jolteon, so we have the patented Jolt-Cloy combination here, because Cloyster needs a friend. Cloyster and Executor really need a friend to protect them from Zapdos. And this is obviously where Jolteon is going to come in. Jolteon exists pretty much to protect from Zapdos and be faster than literally everything. Right, so we got rest on him too. So all of my mons can heal. I swear to God, all of my mons can heal. All of them. Because I remembered the way that bully played me, and like all of his mons could heal. And it was actually really annoying if you didn't know how to deal with it. Right? So I was like, maybe there's some merit to doing that. And then Tauros, this used to be Snorlax. I think half of the videos are going to be Snorlax here. But I was having a real hard time cracking 1500 and cracking those players. Because objectively speaking, Snorlax is more defensive than Tauros, right? But the problem is, I need the speed. I have a need for speed in this slot that Snorlax just can't help me with. So you have to set up Snorlax, right? And if you want to switch him in, you're already resigning yourself to getting damaged. So just being slower than everything means I can't even really set him up, because I'd need a fresh switch to get him in, and that kind of goes against what I was doing. So I noticed that flaw in my team, and I said, okay, well, maybe I'll just do Tauros. I mean, he's the GOAT after all. He's pretty bulky himself. He takes 4 Snorlax body slams to take down. Sure, why not? I think it'll be a great counterbalance. I think this team can't spec too much into defense, but I did put rest on him. Just for the memes. Just like everyone else has rest. It's like maybe I can reset him at some point. I don't remember if I ever did. I don't think I did yet, but I put Tauros on toward the tail end of the challenge. So I haven't really like gotten as much use out of Tauros as I would have liked to, but he's definitely great for switching in because he's usually faster than what your opponent has. But yeah, no, this team exceeded my expectations by quite a lot. I think it could go even higher. I really do. But the problem with that is, it's the trade-off between doing that and then like making a video, putting out a video. And now that I've put out the video, people are going to watch, like, oh my god, this guy got to 1500 with this whatever. You know, and now they're all going to know the team, they're going to know the strategy, so I might have to put this one on ice for quite a long time before I break it back out, because really the element of surprise is super helpful against meta teams. And if you have meta teams and meta players and they already know, they already know all my tricks, oh boy, oh brother, buddy, I think it's going to be too hard for me to take this any higher than it already is if I already made a video about it, right? Alright, so let's go back up to our old pal Chansey. So this Chansey is fantastic. I remember I started a trend using this Chansey quite a long time ago, maybe 2019, 2020. I'm not going to say I invented this Chansey, because I obviously didn't, like someone probably used it before me, but I did think of the idea, and it's like, well, Chansey's really physically frail, but it's really hard to kill if it has defense, right? So I say screw Thunderwave, right? We're just going to do Reflect, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and we're going to fish for freezes, we're going to fish for paralyses, and we're going to retain all that coverage. And this is what I affectionately refer to as Tank Chansey. And Tank Chansey is utterly fantastic. I'm surprised nobody uses this Chansey more often. Maybe they need more paralysis on their team. But for me, I really need an anchor, and Chansey is just like the absolute anchor of my team. I mean, it can stop boosters, it can stop just about anything in its tracks if it gets its Reflect up, right? And if you paralyze an Exploder, switch in the Chansey on their special, and then throw up that Reflect, boom, boom. You just wasted their time, man. So Tank Chansey is the GOAT. I've been using Tank Chansey for a long time on and off. I mean, it definitely has its place on every team, right? Sometimes you're going to want Sing, sometimes you're going to want Paralysis, but in this situation, Tank Chansey just pairs so well with the rest of my team because I can sit on it for so long. I mean, the theme of the team is be as hard to kill as humanly possible. So I really had to surrender myself to a style of playing that I don't particularly enjoy, but I have to admit, for what I was doing, it definitely was the best option. It definitely worked. Alright, so that's enough yapping, you guys. Let's go ahead and get into some of the games, and I have a lot of games saved for y'all. I mean, it was quite the epic. I started on a low rank account just so I couldn't cheat and say, like, be a 1300 account and only have to do half the challenge. I think I started about 1100, but I didn't save all, like, the easy games, right? I tried to save only the good games for y'all. But there's plenty of games of just me struggling up the ladder, climbing that ladder, and trying to get the gold. All right, in this one we are playing Howard Blast, who is a pretty good player. So I think I'm going to go to Chansey here. Is he going to fall for it? He does. Very good. I think I'm going to throw up Reflect for this. And it's a pretty good strat. So if you lead Arcanine, and it's a Zam or a Starmie lead, you can go either Executor or Chansey. And in this case, I went Chansey, trying to read the Thunder Wave, and then throwing up that Reflect because they're going to want to bring in a physical afterwards. So that's going to protect me. Alright, that's a good move because I want to land my sleep. I want to, come out on top in the early game sleep war in OU. So even though I had the Reflect up, it's still a better option to try to get that sleep in early. Hopefully try to deny his sleep. And with a paralyzed Chansey, that's generally what you can do, is just deny your opponent's sleep. Ooh, that was a good call on my part as well. Alright, get this Chansey back in, throw the Reflect up again, I believe. Perfect, no full para. And this is an ideal, well, it's not ideal because I'm paralyzed. Maybe it is ideal, because since I'm paralyzed, I have a sleep block, but that is what I was looking for. The freeze on the Snorlax, so that's what Reflect Chansey can do. It can handle Snorlax trying to fish for a freeze. Additionally, it can also try to freeze Chansey, enemy Chansey, if it's already paralyzed, which is pretty darn ideal. So yeah, he's trying to boost, but we're gonna shut that down. Alright. So I think he thinks my fourth move is like Thunder Wave, but it's Thunderbolt, which is fantastic. So I have a momentous lead right now in the game. I think I'm just gonna wrestle this Starmie with Thunderbolt. Okay, right on. Ooh, I like that. Look at his team. I respect it. That's pretty cool. Running double ground types. That's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Respect. Respect. Okay, he's gonna try to wait me out with Substitute. He's looking for a full para. Now, do I want to put this away? I don't think so, because how's this Starmie doing? Hasn't revealed any moves. Executor is not looking too ideal right now. Cloyster. I think this is Snorlax, not Tauros. And obviously, Jolteon's really not going to help me. So I think I'm just going to keep this in, because he's going to keep blasting substitutes, and if I switch something in, he'll have a substitute. So I'm just as stuck as he is right now. You got rest? Is he waiting for it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, okay. We're going to start it all over again. Right. Thunderbolt. Getting pretty predictable. Put this on fast. How's Rocky Road working for you? True. That's a pretty good team name. Ye olde Rocky Road. Alright, get that out of there. I think just, yeah, stay. He can't sleep me. Ooh, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna commit? I'm committing? Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, wait. Okay, he does sub. Thank God the confusion wore off. Here we are, same old dance. Same old song and dance. Pivoting off of this. Ooh, I guess I saw that coming. Trying it again. I'm gonna click Ice Beam because just for the chance to catch this. Yeah, finally. Whew. Broke through the parafusion on that one. Yeah, that's a Tauros moment. That's for sure. Oh my god, bro. Give me a break, dude. Okay. Hang on. How's this Gengar? Yeah, maybe wanted to catch that. Stun Spore. Sure. Dude, insta-crit. Missing the Psychic. Of course. Come on. Give me a para. Nah, okay. Oh, so, check this out. I don't know if this was a mistake. I was willing for it to happen, but he almost turned the tides on me here because I'm gonna Fire Blast the crap out of this Tauros. But I actually end up thawing out the Snorlax, which is pretty epic play for him. Like, I vicariously feel good for him doing that in an actual game, because it rarely happens. But I want this out because I've lost my Chansey block, and Arcanine is my designated sleep sack. So, like, I knew the risk I was taking, or did I forget? I may have very well forgot that Snorlax was frozen. Maybe that was a Jolteon moment, I think. I don't know. No, because Jolteon can outspeed Gengar when he comes back out, right? I don't know, Jolteon to Snorlax, maybe? Cloyster's not going to help against Thunderbolt. But the main reason I did that is because I wanted Arcanine to go to sleep. But I saw the error of my ways. I was like, wait, no. He can bring this back now. What have I done? Come on, just hit. Just hit, bro. Just hit. Come on, please, God. Thank you. He almost had it. He almost brought it back. I almost got punked hard. Yeah, expecting Gengar. Ooh, nice. Fire Blast Tauros. I respect it. So now I was going to do the Confuse Ray thing, but I think I'm going to outspeed with Jolteon, paralyze him, and just wrap it up with Earthquake, Snorlax. Right, yeah. Alright. Good game indeed. Cool team. Video's getting kind of long, so I'm going to continue the series because I have a lot of battles saved in following videos. So don't be too disheartened. I'm not ending the series here. We're going to keep on keeping on with it. Just not in this video. I don't like to go above 30 minutes on my videos, so just because for my own attention span, I probably won't watch that. Alright guys, so I look forward to you looking at the next one. Take care.